listening to Radio Cosmos.
All night long.
Bravo! My compliments, little lady.
Break for 30 seconds.
You are now listening to BaaD Radio.
Welcome back as we launch into the second hour of BaaD Radio. I'm going to run through all of the regular info for those who might have just joined us. I am Angela Smrito, your host, and we've got our co-host and videographer, Melissa Jacob.
Hello, hello.
Mm-hmm. Melissa's business is called Striking Brand. And if you go to our website, which is BaaD Radio, BaaD Radio, you can see all of the previous episodes. But if you go to her website, which is strikingbrand.com, you can see all of her other work as she does video work as well as photography. So please welcome Gabby Garcia with First Impressions Barber in the studio with us today. So we've already decided that we're going to be besties.
Yes.
No, because when I was walking around, I could hear you guys chatting. I'm like, oh, they must know each other through like BNI or, you know, something. I'm like, you guys know each other? Like, nope.
New friends.
First time meeting.
Okay. So my first question is, what is the difference between a barber and a hairstylist?
So a barber is more so fades, working on men, doing shaves, doing a lot of razor work. We specialize in, if you're a master barber, you can specialize in color as well.
Oh,
so
really?
Very similar in some aspects. Hairdressers do get a men's cutting class in cosmetology school. They just usually don't specialize in men's grooming. So, yeah.
So a fade. You're going to have to school me on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. So
I'm sure Tom has gotten them, right?
A fade? I mean, it's
like
a
when he was
shave?
younger? Yeah, like it's just goes gradually.
No way, girl. Tom wore an afro.
I've seen pictures. Sorry, I'll let the professional.
No, so yeah, basically, so if someone's getting, say, a 3 on the sides and it fades down to a 1 on the sides, I don't know if you know the numbers. A lot of people,
I don't.
Yeah, they don't. So it's guards on a clipper.
Okay.
So when you're starting at we'll say a 1, really low, that's short, and then it's gonna go long to a number 3 guard.
Okay.
So
Are you from like New York area?
yes, Long Island.
She said long. And I'm like, I nailed it.
Yep, Long Island, New York.
I caught you.
So, So that's kind of.
But you have to go to like cosmetology school, just like a regular hairdresser. And
So barbers go to barber school. I was fortunate to go to Aveda for cosmetology and then Paul Mitchell for barbering. So yeah, it was really fun. I went back to back right out of high school. So I've been doing this for 10 years. And I had really great teachers and I really excelled. So I did really well.
what made you decide to go the barber route?
So we were 3 months in cosmetology school, and we did a men's cutting class, and I was
You're like,
in
this is
love.
my jam.
Yeah, because with clippers and scissors, it's a lot of art when you're cutting, you know. I used to love to draw, and I actually got into designs pretty well. So I was just, practicing all of that. I had this barber, she's Stay Gold on Instagram, and she is an amazing barber now. She's been in the game for a very long time, and our journeys are kind of similar, and she really inspired me to be a barber. So you would see me working on my mannequin head, just shaving them down and doing all this razor work and everything. And in cosmetology school, we get guests, so I was always the barber. I was always the one getting all the men's cuts and everything. I would do color as well. I just love doing the men's cuts. So right after Cosmo school, I went to barber right after. And
And when was that? Because I mean, like you said, she has such young energy. That I'm trying.
You're trying to detect it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how old you are.
So I am 28.
Okay.
I think it was 2014. I believe I started barbering school. So 2013, I graduated high school, started Cosmo, and then right after that, 2014 was barbering.
Does it work a lot how regular, like where you buy a chair, or not buy a chair, you rent a space in a certain place?
Right.
Yeah, so some places are commission, some are booth rent. So currently I am in a booth rental facility. I was in a salon suite probably a month ago, just running my own business, and it was really nice. It was cool. it was just very hidden. My name for my suite was the hidden gem because I'm very well rounded. I'm really good at what I do, but I was so hidden, and I thought it was so fitting for the name. I was doing well. I lasted a year and 6 months, so that was good. But I just didn't feel like I was growing fast enough. So I wanted those walk-ins back in my life and just to really network and get myself out there again.
So let's talk about networking then. So you are now in BNI, right? And
that's good for you.
Yes,
Oh,
that's how we got connected. Was it Mike? Who was it that connected us? I can't even know.
Daniel Comforti?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you joined the Sanford chapter, is that right?
Yes.
And how did you find out about BNI?
So I have a client, and his name's Rick Bowman, and
Oh, I know him. He does home inspections.
home inspections, yes. And I've been cutting him for, I want to say, like 3 years now. So he posted on Facebook about Visitor Day, and I just to support him, I forwarded it and shared it on my not Instagram, my Facebook. And he texts me, and he's like, "Hey, would you like to join or like come to our Visitor Day?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" He's like, "It's really early. It's 7 o'clock in the morning in Sanford. Are you sure?" I was like, the early bird gets the worm. You know?
Oh, I love
Let's do
that
it.
attitude.
So it was really good. It was really fun.
But prior to that, did you have any idea what BNI was?
No, not at all. And it's funny because I was trying to figure out how am I going to get myself out there because I was still at the salon suite at the time. So I'm like, how am I going to get my name out there? How am I going to, push my product and who I am as a barber? And it just fell into my lap so easy. So it was meant to be. It was very awesome.
Definitely. I will agree with that because we were talking before we started about how you're transitioning and starting your own business and all of this and growing. And BNI 100% helped me establish everything.
Yeah.
One of my friends, same thing. Thing.
Oh, yeah. It's a game changer.
Yeah.
How long have you been in it now?
I've been there, I think I'm touching my 3 months now.
Okay.
And I've grown exponentially. So it was
so happy making
Right
Thank
away,
you.
right?
Yeah. So I was able to branch out to a lot of Sanford clientele. So that's why I was in Orange City in the salon suite.
Right. Okay.
So I moved to Sanford just recently, and it's
Where
been
in
really
Sanford
good.
are you now?
Downtown, so right next to the Corner Cafe and Cristo's Pizzeria, right in between. It's a small shop, but it's very homey and very welcoming.
I love that.
So yeah, I love it too. It was my first barbershop I ever worked at. So it's like a full circle, you know. I had the opportunity to come back, and they welcomed me with open arms, and it worked out. I just started back, but it's working out really well. So
well, for the chamber too, not just the chamber, but for the BNI chapter right there. So you've seen a lot of support from them, right?
Yes.
Oh, you're right across the street then.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
nice.
we actually got really big that we had to go to the Bravo Center, shopping center in Sanford.
How big? How many members are you now?
We're about to hit 70.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and we're gonna need a bigger venue.
Y'all need to split that group up or something.
Yeah, it's a quinceañera hall.
Right.
So that we're in now
I
because
wonder
we're
if
in
that's
Hollerbox.
I wonder if that's the biggest chapter in Central Florida.
Yeah, we are. We are
in Central Florida.
We're growing like really
It's a good
fast.
one. Yeah.
I was gonna
The
say I know some
community's
people are gonna be
beautiful.
like game on. That's why they're doing that extravaganza right now, where it's like you get so many new members. Then you get when it's like they're actually like not auctioning, but like you can win like free years of membership through that, which is like really appealing to be honest with you.
Yeah. Because
So-
I think it's like 1,000 basically from 1 year. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
if you do like 2 years, it's a little bit less.
Yeah.
But some people don't have that. A lot of people are just starting out in their business. So
Right.
it's nice to get that incentive. It gets people like, oh, yeah, I really want to do it. So
Right. Well, I'm so glad that you joined. I'm sure Rick is probably excited that you joined too.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I think I was going through something on Facebook and I saw it. It was your Facebook page, and it was like I think you posted a bunch of pictures of some of the BNI members that you worked on, right?
Yep.
That's so
and
cute.
oh
That's
my
really
gosh,
good.
they love me, and it's cool because I am one of the younger people in the group. So I bring a different energy, and I'm a hairstylist too. At the end of the day, so it's a different vibe, you know. So it's really
100%.
awesome.
Well, we're going to continue talking, but right now we're going to go to break, and so everybody stay tuned. We'll be back with more BaaD Radio.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Frogger's Grill and Bar. Looking for a place to go with friends or meet new ones? Then you're looking for Frogger's Grill and Bar. With daily specials, an amazing kids menu, and sports, and more sports, there is something for everyone. And don't miss out on Frogger's amazing menu, where everything is fresh, never frozen. And with 4 great locations, there is bound to be one near you. Oviedo, Mount Dora, Apopka, and Altamont Springs. Frogger's, hop in with food and fun. And we're here with Gabby Garcia, and she's with First Impressions Barber. And I do that when I get excited, because I know we're going to talk about fun stuff. Yeah. So we were talking about BNI. Have you gone to any other chapters and visited any other chapters?
No, not yet.
Well, with 70 members, I guess you kind of.
I'm so.
You're still trying to do your
Right,
one-to-ones
yeah.
with your chapter.
Right,
That's going to take her forever just doing that.
Right. So I'm a little overwhelmed, but it's a good overwhelming, you know. I got flooded, so
That's good.
I was
got
like,
you.
Maybe one thing at a time, but I want to so bad. When I was in Orange City, I wanted to branch out to the DeLand chapter, and I never did, but I want to touch base with all those.
And what, do you want walk-in business, but you prefer like people to book appointments, and then I'm guessing just like it's like you book the same day each month or 4 or 5 weeks or however. Is that how you prefer to do business?
Yeah, usually I'm not real. Well, I guess I am appointment based, but honestly, walk-ins. You could call me right now if I have availability. I'll take you. I usually don't turn down business, and I'm a workaholic, so I'm gonna work morning to night, so it's nice.
Do you live close by to your location?
I would say like 30 minutes. I'm over in Deltona.
Okay, so just over the bridge.
Yes,
gotcha. Yeah. So as a barber, I think of like a barber shop, like the old school barber.
With the blue and red little spots.
Oh, yeah.
Do you do all like the hot?
Oh yeah.
What is it? Like
Hot shaves, hot towel shaves. Yeah. So instead of a hot towel, I actually use a steamer. So a steamer actually keeps going. So when we get facials, that steam's constantly going on our face, opening our pores and everything, softening our skin.
Is that why people do it? Like heat their face up? Does it make it so you get a cleaner shave?
Yes. Yeah. So if you see guys shaving with hot water, like over the sink and they're shaving, or in the shower, it's such a perfect shave because the hair's loosening, the skin's softening, so it's just gonna glide. Some people can shave without shave gel or shave cream, and it's because of the hot water. I don't recommend that. Always use shave gel and shave creams, less irritation. Yeah. But yeah, that's why they use
like
that.
the razor.
Oh yeah. I'm a barber.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of barbers now. Unfortunately, they're going away from the craft of using the straight razor. And I think that's so bad, because that's what you go to the barbershop for, is to get that clean edge, that really straight razor shave, tight, clean. And it's a dying art. I feel like a lot of people like to use their trimmers and their balding shavers. And it's less irritating, and, it's more cost efficient, and a little bit faster, but you need to give an experience to your clients,
Well, I think that, like I said, it might be dying just because people are in a rush, but I think that there always is going to be a place for like the old school barber with the thing and the razor. But that makes me nervous. Were you nervous as could be when you first got hold of one?
Honestly, I wasn't too scared. I got taught before I even started barbering, like in Cosmo school. I got taught by a friend, and he used to shave himself in the Army, and he's like, you have to learn how to straight razor shave. And I was like, oh, okay. So he let me practice on him. A few little slits here and there.
It's a good friend.
Since it's a clean cut, it would, heal pretty fast. So we were good. No crazy blood, but it was nice to actually get into that. So when I did join barber school, I was ready to rock and roll. So I was ahead of the game, definitely.
Nice.
Well, one thing I definitely know is that men have become much more cognizant of what their hair looks like. And the reason I know this is because I have a husband and a son, and I know that Aiden, he's got curly hair and it's thinner, but he doesn't want to wear it like short, because like back in the day, men wore their hair short,
buzzed,
right? Buzzed,
super short.
So do you have to like really work with somebody to get the style that they want, or are you pretty much like you get this one, or this one?
No, yeah. So since I'm very versatile, ask so many questions, and I can use scissors, I can use clippers, I can use both. So if they have curly hair, I can cut that. If they have straight hair, I could cut that. If it's kinky, ethnic hair, I can cut that as well. You have to ask their lifestyle. Are they going to style their hair, or are they going to just wake up and go? You know, I'm a very low maintenance barber. So when you get a haircut with me, one, you're not going to have to sit in my chair every week or every 2 weeks, unless you really want to. Those are like my policemen, my law enforcement people, my army people, military, all that. They love to be fresh. It's what is instilled in them, so they come in all the time. But usually I cut a lot of business people that don't have time. So,
Understood.
So I do a very nice, clean, basic haircut, what they usually get, but I add my little twist to it. So it's called a taper. This is something that I do on almost all of my clients. So that's when they fade the sideburns and the neckline. So either it can fade totally out to 0 or just fade to maybe a tighter, like a 1 or maybe a half guard or something.
Right.
And that makes the haircut last so much longer, look so much cleaner in the grow out, instead of having it like, say it's a 3 guard and then you cut off the sideburns. That's a 3, so it's gonna just grow into like tails, if you will.
Right.
So I tell them that because they understand, like, yeah, my sideburns keep growing and all this and that. So if I taper it down a little bit, it's gonna have more longevity, and they're not gonna have to see me as often, and they love that.
Oh, that's so smart. Yeah, that's how I am when I go to my hairstylist. I'm like, I want highlights, but I don't want. They're gonna grow out. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna let them grow out.
Yeah.
So however you do it, make it not look bad.
Low maintenance and natural as possible. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I want to Mythbuster here, because we had a Mythbuster in the previous hour when that was about cracking your knuckles. You know, were you told as a child that if you crack your knuckles too much that they're going to get swollen?
Oh,
or you're going to
get arthritis.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had a chiropractor tell us that it's okay.
It does not do
just so you
anything.
know.
Because it's only air pockets, right?
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
But before and after. Okay, so question for you is, when you shave, does it make your hair grow faster?
Oh yeah, or thicker.
So I've heard that it doesn't, but my opinion, I feel like it comes back really fast, and I feel like it does get thicker.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. My boyfriend thinks that it's not true, but I
don't know. I've heard from professionals that it isn't
50-50.
true. Yeah, same. So honestly, I epilate hair. So that's the tweezers that go crazy. They're like a little shaver, but it's...
You totally lost me.
I know, me
so this
too.
is an old school type of machine.
Is it a plucker?
Yeah, basically. I don't use it on my clients. I'm just saying this is personal use.
Oh.
And it actually makes my hair grow back finer. So, but when I shave personally, I feel like it grows back very fast and thick. So
yeah. See, because I only know, the only thing I can think is like my legs. Like I'll shave my legs and I'm like, yeah, it's like thicker. It seems.
Well, I'm just wondering about people's face. I mean, men do not. Do people wax their face?
I was just gonna say some of them do. I have a friend in Deltona, and she waxes, and she just posted the other day on Instagram that she waxed their beard up here. I wouldn't recommend up here. I think is okay. This hair is not as thick; it's finer. This down here on your neck is so thick.
It would take some skin with it.
Yeah, some barbers do it, and I mean, hey, if that's your cup of tea, you want to go through that pain, go ahead. I do not recommend. That's insane.
Yeah, that sounds painful.
So, yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
What about pricing? Because you have pricing for like the super big salons. Sometimes I think it's a little bit outrageous, but then you also have like the great clips and whatnot.
Right.
Where do you fall?
So my prices are $40 for a haircut, just starting. If you add a beard trim and eyebrows, then
you do eyebrows too?
Yes. Razor. Sometimes I'll wax underneath the lower part right here just for longevity. But I usually razor them for the most part. My guys don't like pain, so they're like at least as little pain, as possible. So so with haircut, beard, and eyebrows, it's $55.
Okay,
and I think it's super reasonable, especially the location that I'm in. They have a bunch of different barbershops ranging from different prices, and you're gonna get quality with what you pay for.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to run to break real quick, and when we get back, we're going to continue talking with Gabby. So stay tuned for more BaaD Radio.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Welcome back, and this portion of the show is brought to you by Liberty Property Inspections. Your home is one of your most important investments, so don't trust it to just anyone. LibertyPropertyInspections.net, helping you protect your investment. We are talking with Gabby Garcia, and she is with First Impression Barber. And during the break, I was like, what are some of the things that you want to talk about? What do you see for the future? And so she started to say, I'm like, oh, hold the thought. We're going to talk about it on the air. So what are long-term goals for you?
So I want to be a barbershop owner. I want to be able to provide a good workplace for new barbers and new hairstylists. And also for the community, I want to be a well-rounded shop where I can have anybody walk in there, feel comfortable, and feel welcomed.
And what area were you looking at? The same area?
Yeah, downtown Sanford.
Downtown Sanford is so nice.
It's beautiful. It's growing, and I've always been drawn to that area. I love it. It's beautiful.
Well, because it's got like that old school charm, but it just does. I think a lot of people don't, when they think of like downtown Sanford, they don't think of like the cobblestone roads and all the nice things and everything. But I've done a couple of events there. I think they do Pints and Paws and some other events with West End. West End does a lot of stuff out there.
Yes, yeah.
So how big are you thinking?
So maybe an 8-chair shop. So probably a little bit bigger than what I'm in right now. It doesn't need to be too crazy big. Just enough where you're going to be able to get a shampoo and have, space in between. So not everyone's listening to your conversation,
Right.
because I feel like that's one of the biggest complaints. I feel like from at least my clients, they love the salon suite because no one else was listening, So if I can make it kind of big, I don't need to have 8 barbers in there, honestly. As long as I have a good crew, it could be 4 or 5 barbers, then that's fine. It'll be spaced out enough and everyone would be happy with that space.
Are you going for in and out, or are you going to go for like the experience?
So a little bit of both. You can't, if you focus on one, I feel like the other one falls off. So I want to be able to have my barbers cut in 45 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour and a half at most. There will be walk-ins. There will be a lot of traffic. We're going to be busy. I know that for a fact. I want good quality, so you don't have to specialize in both, like me, cosmetology and barbering, but I would like a little bit of touching of at least a little bit of Cosmo background because men need to be pampered,
I agree.
They don't get pampered at all. We get our nails done, hair, makeup, everything done. They go get a haircut, and that's it. So I want to give that experience to the gentlemen that are coming into my barber shop and just, make them feel pampered.
What about like adding like coffee area and things like that? Do you see something like
Cute.
that?
Yeah,
I know,
absolutely. Right? So in BNI, we have so many of those people promoting their businesses, and I want to have a business spotlight. So if you want to promote your coffee, if you want to promote even alcohol, you could bring that. I have a really great friend named Alex. He's a chef in our group.
Oh, I know. Chef Alex.
Yes, Chef Alex. He is awesome. And I would love him to cater, my grand opening, even, events like this weekend's Easter. So maybe do like an Easter like buffet type thing.
Is that this weekend?
Yes, I know.
Girl.
I know. I just reminded you.
You don't know the amount of panic that just happened.
You're like, oh no, that's everyone. Yeah. So we're going to be swamped in the barbershop Friday and Saturday for the last minute haircuts to people that forgot and everything. It happens, life gets ahead of us and we forget about holidays.
Well, Easter's early this year too, but yours are still at the age where you
I'm
got
supposed to be doing
Easter baskets.
Where I should be prepared already. Yes. We kind of do a thing where it's like it's something for spring. I know that Tom used to always get bathing suit or something like that, and so we kind of carry that tradition.
My mom still does Easter baskets. I'm 28 years old, and she still does
I'm
Easter
sorry,
baskets.
I love me an Easter basket.
Yeah,
They're so cute.
I was talking about that the other day, about the first time I took a bite of an Easter bunny and it was hollow. I was so sad. I was so disappointed. I'm like, what is this? It's like looks so big and beautiful.
You
and
think
it's
you're gonna get
hollow.
all this chocolate?
Yeah.
Nope, not at all.
They
But yeah.
trip you.
Well, how far out? I mean, like I said, you're comfortable where you're at. Like, how far out do you see that being?
I don't know. So it's funny because I put timelines on things and things just happen so fast. So I say I'm going to be at a place for a year or 6 months, and it winds up being faster than that. And just my blessings keep coming. And my path, I'm very open to anything. So I'm very optimistic too. So if it's for me, I'm going to take the opportunity. So if I find a location sooner than later, then it'll happen. I'm going to jump on it. So we'll see what happens.
Speaking of like Pints and Paws, have you ever done any like outdoor events?
Yes. So I love doing a pop-up shop and cutting anywhere. So I've done reggae festivals.
Fun.
I've cut there. Oh yeah, I'm a big reggae girl. So I've done that. I've done coalitions. And so cutting for the poor and the homeless and everything. So I have a big heart for people like that. This morning, a little side story. I went to a Colombian bakery and there was this young gentleman. He must have been in his early 20s, and he's laying on the concrete with a blanket on him, and it's about to rain and everything. I go into the bakery. I have a one-to-one meeting with someone, and I order a meal, and I'm like, I don't really like this, but I didn't touch it where it's like, you know, it contaminated it. So I kind of cut off the piece that I tried, and I bagged up everything else, and I walked outside, and I was like, hey, do you want some breakfast? And I gave it to him, and he looked so down. And then after I gave him a little bit of a talk and breakfast, he had such a big smile on his face.
So sweet.
Yeah, so I have a big heart for people like that because no one should go hungry.
I agree.
So anything with that, any senior citizen, like pop-up events, I love to do that as well. So
Right. Well, I didn't realize it was called pop-up. So you can actually, how do you sit up like a chair, or I mean, can you just use a stool?
I could use a stool. I have cordless clippers, so I only cut with cordless clippers. It's just
For
easier
the pop-up
for me.
thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, in general as well, too.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a lot easier, and it's very efficient for me. So yeah, I usually bring an awning or a tent, and I have a table and whatever chair I can find at the moment, and I'm cutting your hair.
Oh, that's
so.
I think that we should talk more because I have so many events coming
That
up.
sounds
Oh,
like fun.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm always down. Just give me enough in advance, and I'm always down to do events.
How far would you want to go? Like Oviedo? Too
Yeah,
far?
I'll go anywhere. I'm going to Miami Pride to go cut some hair out there in a few weeks as well. So it's going to be a good event. I'm going to promote myself, and my friend's singing as well. He's performing. So I'm his hairdresser. So
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So it's going to be a good event, a big networking opportunity for me. And like I said, I'll cut anywhere. I've cut in probably 4 different states. I've done competitions in Vegas. I cut in Long Island, New York.
Is this a barber competition?
Yes. Yeah. So it was a female category. It was a female barber category. And I didn't place, but there was a lot of really good females there
in
cutting.
Vegas too. It sounds like a big deal.
Oh, yeah. It was a big stage. So I got in front of everyone and I was cutting. So it was really nice.
That's probably amazing just to even get on there.
Oh, yeah. I was very hesitant. I'm very last minute with things like that. So I was very hesitant. I was like, all right, sign me up. And I just did it literally the day of.
Oh,
so yeah, I wasn't even going to do it. And I found a model in the crowd and I cut
Oh,
him.
geez.
So, yeah.
Just whipped it together.
Yep.
She
So,
made it work.
Yeah. So it was
That's
awesome.
funny. How do we feel about dyeing beards?
Yeah.
Oh.
This is a really random question.
No, it's part of
How do we
what
feel
I
about
do.
this?
So I love to dye beards.
Yeah.
A lot of men like to cover their grays. You know, they don't want to age. They don't want to show their age.
Well, I
So-
mean, we have all sorts of things to do to help us. So.
Right. So anything to keep them young, you know? So I usually do semi-permanent. I don't usually do permanent on the beard because if you have a lot of gray, as you were saying before, the line of demarcation, it's not natural. So I like to do things that are very, very natural. So if it's going to fade out a little bit over time, it'll be super easy for them to maintain, and they don't have to get it done as often.
Because I've seen like some pictures of guys where it looks like somebody just Sharpied.
Yeah.
And they're like, what
Some barbers
happened?
do people dirty.
Sharpie. All right. Well, we're going to go to break, and when we get back, we're going to talk more with Gabby, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to BaaD Radio, brought to you by Premier Couple Superstore, because a couple that plays together stays together.
Oh, welcome back, and I'd like to give a huge thank you to our sponsor, Bolts Legal. Fear no storm with boltslegal.com. Crazy Muscle Nutrition located on 436 in Castleberry. Inbalance Bodywork in Lake Mary. Derek Brantley is ready to help take your pain away. Forge IT Consulting, providing a fully outsourced IT department with a personal touch for small business. ForgeITConsulting.com. And soon we will be adding New Horizons on here too. Because
Derek Brantley is awesome.
Yeah.
Just a testimonial.
Yeah. No, I agree. So Derek sponsors the show, but Michael is signed up to be a sponsor of the show too.
Nice.
So his commercials I've already started running, but his mentions will start in April. So super excited, and you'll see like so many of my sponsors are BNI related.
Yeah, that's awesome though. I love that.
BNI's been great for the radio show.
Yeah.
And the radio show honestly has just been great for all avenues. So I'm in BNI as a marketing agency. So I work for a company called Mindful Media Group. So the radio show has been such an excellent way for me to talk to business owners without me being like, what are you doing to advertise? Do you want to buy out? Do you want to spend money and do this? It's so, and be like, hey, come be on the show. Let's talk. And then they get to know me. So what have you done so far as like the marketing? You said you had your socials, right? What do you have?
So I have Instagram. It's Little Miss Gabby for my Instagram. Facebook is just
That's
Gabby
perfect.
Garcia.
Little Miss
yes,
Gabby.
that was actually something I came up with like 6 years ago because I was in a barbershop where they used to always be like Little Miss Gabby or Miss Gabby, and I was like, oh well, I'm tiny, so that goes.
I was gonna say it's perfect.
Yeah, I have a Facebook, just Gabby Garcia. My logo never changes. I've had that for so many years, and it's the pinup girl. She's actually me.
Nice.
So it's easy to find. That's one thing I always say when you're marketing. Make sure you're always staying consistent. Because once you're not consistent, I've moved so many times in my career, but everyone knows how to find me because I brand myself so well.
Yeah.
So
well, that's a problem too, because with like ChatGPT, people are like, give me a logo, and then the logo pops up, and they're like, I like that. Then they're like, give me another logo, and and so they've got their brand imaging all over the place. So that's actually really smart.
Yeah.
To do that. Do you play with TikTok at all?
No, so
I'm surprised though.
Yeah, I keep it simple because even though I am 28, I am very old school. So I feel like Instagram is a great portfolio. You scan my QR code and it takes you to my Instagram, and then you see all my work. You see what I do, and you're able to see if I'm the barber for you or not.
Right. And how do you feel the differences, or what are the differences for you from Facebook, your business page, to Instagram?
So Facebook, I get a little bit more personal. So with the statuses and everything, showing where I'm located and everything. So I just feel like
I have an Instagram account and I've worked on it, but I'm so much more of a Facebook person. I know it's an age thing too. But like for me, when I look at business pages, that's what when I'm looking at the business. I'm like looking where their address. I'm finding out what they've posted. Are they keeping it current? I see how many people are following them.
Right.
Is that how it is with Instagram as well?
Yeah.
Right?
So I keep it very short and sweet. I don't try to confuse anybody. So my bio will let you know how to contact me. So which is usually text. You can call me, but I'm usually busy, so text is preferred.
Do you answer the phone anymore? I can't even. I never call you.
Yeah,
I don't call people.
Do.
Do people actually still call?
Yeah, if they're busy, I get it. It's quick and easy, But text is usually preferred. A lot of people are getting away from talking to people, so I think that's a lot easier for people to,
which is not great. I don't think that's great, but honestly, I like being in person. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you in person. That's my number one. After that, it's text. please.
That connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not ever surprise FaceTime me ever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right.
That's so rude.
Absolutely.
If I'm driving, I will Marco Polo you.
Yeah, but that's fine because that's not like you can't see me instantly. I'm
Right,
like, I can deal
right.
with that.
Like that's when I'm in my car. That's when I'll call.
Mhm.
But that's cool. So people can text you to make an appointment.
Yes, yes. And then I also put my location, and that's really it. Maybe a little slogan just to,
But you put pictures of like people and
Yeah. So I cut so many people. So you're going to see for every walk of life on my page. I also do color. So I do have women on there as well. And it's very diverse. So I want anyone to sit in my chair. I'm very well-rounded.
Oh, sorry. I just thought of something as like this should probably be off show, but I'm gonna
do it.
Are you in year-round Oviedo sometimes?
Yeah.
Have you been to the My Oviedo store? By chance, they
no.
just sell a bunch of odds and ends. The point is that the owner of that does a lot of like outdoor shops and like for vendors. She's really big in small businesses.
Emma?
Emma. That would be really cool. I'm sure she would like love to have you too. So
Yeah.
that's another thing I can connect you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe do
That's
like an
awesome.
outdoor like vending thing. And I think she's like talked to a coffee person, have a coffee person come out and like brew some stuff like that.
Oh, I would have had her if it
sounds
was.
so
I would have had
nice.
her at the Winter Park Sidewalk Art Festival.
Yeah.
Oh,
have her set
yes.
up there. That
I
just
am an
happened.
artist.
Yeah.
I am an artist.
And now that it's getting warmer outside,
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
And
Yeah,
Oviedo's got a
absolutely.
bunch of stuff coming up, but I totally I envision like your whole thing. We can set it up and make it look like a little barber shop
Yeah,
and have people come
absolutely.
in. But like at the Winter Park Sidewalk Art Festival, you've got an age clientele there that would absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Just the quick story though, because I remember one time my dad took me to like some outdoor event and he made me get my hair cut by a pop-up one, and I was so devastated.
Watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I meant I was as a young girl. I'm like, Dad, I don't want to get my hair cut here, and he's like, just do it. It ended up being my favorite haircut
Oh,
of all
nice.
times.
Yeah.
And I was like, but then I couldn't find the person again.
Right. So I always make sure that I have stuff to give out. I always give a card to everyone that sits in my chair. You're going to either come to me or you're going to gift it to a friend.
You should give them little combs with your.
Yes, I am working on that.
Because people would use that.
Yes, beard combs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to do beard combs, but combs in general,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. The funny thing was, I also remember that there was like a wrestling match going on right next to me.
So
when I was
random.
Yeah, yeah.
So random.
It's definitely different.
That's an
Definitely
experience.
different.
What are some of the events that you've done before? You said.
So I've done like Reggae Fest. I've done charity work. So wherever.
Do you get a
honestly,
line?
wherever. Sometimes.
That's really
sometimes.
cool,
Or people
though.
come back. They'll go hit other booths and they'll come
Like,
back to mine.
Yeah, I need to be, but
Yeah.
I need to get. What about long hair? Like, do you work with long hair?
Oh,
Because
yes.
guys wear their hair long.
Yeah,
now, too.
yeah. I actually love long hair. It sounds crazy, but I prefer to cut long hair over a fade sometimes because it's just so therapeutic to me. I don't know why. I also dry cut hair, so I don't cut wet. So
Ever?
usually, I mean, unless it's like a short haired person, like a guy
Right.
or a pixie cut or something. But if you were to come in I'm cutting your hair dry. So that way I can see the way your hair lays naturally, the way you wear it every day. And obviously I can wash it and blow it out and everything and then finish, dry once again. But my foundation cut is usually dry.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I always thought that they had to do that to make sure there was a straight line or
It
something.
seems like it makes sense though, because the way your hair dries, there's going to be some
different
parts
than
that
wet.
Yeah, and I have like one section of hair that just likes to be like wavy out of nowhere.
I wouldn't know that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
if it's
if
like
your hair was wet.
Exactly. That's what I always think. I always wonder why they wouldn't cut it dry.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of people, because we're taught to cut wet, you
Yeah.
know, so it's going outside of the box. A lot of people
Right.
don't like to go outside of the box. I'm going to try everything. So, and I've been doing it for 10 years. So I know it works. And like you said, you have a patch that might be wavy or something.
Have you ever heard of a cowlick?
Yeah, but it's not that. It like grows differently. It's
Yeah.
like it's hormonal or something. I don't know.
So we have so many different patterns in our hair. Everyone thinks our hair grows all the same. And
Oh, heck no.
Yeah, the cowlicks, different wave patterns. You could have a curly patch in your hair and everything else is straight.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Wow. This has been an awesome show.
Fun,
yeah.
fun.
I know, so much fun.
So give all of your socials out and how everybody can get in touch with you. We've got about a minute, so just like I said, give it all out.
Yeah, so Instagram is Little Miss Gabby. Facebook is Gabby Garcia. If you're looking for me, you're going to look for the logo that has the pinup girl with the teal hair.
Cute.
My number is 386-216-3857, and you can text me whenever. And I'm available.
Go ahead and give your address, the address of the shop.
So...
Or
I don't
where,
really
do it.
remember.
Where's that?
put her-
So
I'm sorry.
It's First Impressions Barbershop next to Christo's Pizzeria and the Corner Cafe in downtown Sanford off of First Street.
Awesome.
Nice. And you can find me at strikingbrand.com or email melissa@strikingbrand.com.
And thanks for joining us. A huge thank you to our sponsors. And thank you for tuning in. Have a great week, everyone.